Ooh, that is the lovely sound of my computer rebooting. Hello, everybody. This is Tarotscope 12. Sam Z. I'm here once again to give myself a reading. Although a little bit of a special case today. The reading today will actually be not so much about me, but a project that I'm looking to start. I was at the laundromat today because I'm unemployed, and that's what I have time to do now. Great. And I was thinking about in a couple of weeks how my mother has asked me to come home and help her clean out the last of her storage units. My mother is kind of a hoarder, and that's one of her most lovable qualities. It's also one of her most loathable qualities. Very frustrating for anybody who's close to her. Not really looking forward to this, needless to say. But I was thinking, wouldn't it be kind of interesting if I brought along my camera phone, which I was planning on doing anyway because I never go anywhere without it, and just film a little bit of this experience, maybe a couple of interviews with her, and perhaps I could get something out of it, maybe a little bit of a story, you know what I mean? A story, right? I know what I mean. Anyway, sometimes what I like to do when I'm starting off on a project just to get things focused is I like to give a reading, beginning, middle, and end, because ultimately tarot cards are about storytelling. It's one of the reasons I like them. I'm not so much into the whole voodoo magic of them, but I really like the fact that, it just is a good way of framing a story if you need to. There are billions of ways to frame a story, literally billions of ways. And what tarot does, for me anyway, is it just allows me to pick one. Makes sense? Makes sense to me. So the question I'm going to put to the cards today is, what form will this take? I was sort of throwing around the idea of asking the question, how do I actually feel about my mother? But the truth is, I think that that is a question I might want to ask later. Right now I'm focusing more on what form will this story that I'm coming up with, what form will that take? Make sense? Great. Let's go to the cards. We are assisted by Monsieur Mozart today. What a nice guy he is for allowing us to use his music for free. All right. First card. Ooh, wealth. This is the Ten of Pentacles, or discs if you prefer. I'm going to look this one up here. Already, I'm starting to see some connection between this and but my feelings about my mother, actually, even though I didn't ask the question. Because my mother is definitely not wealthy. She's, and that's part of a huge part of the reason that I think she's such a hoarder. Let's see here. Open-hearted and generous, giving and receiving. That's definitely who my mother is. That's a part of her personality. I actually told a story at her 60th birthday party about how sometimes she is so generous and giving that it drives other people crazy, because she can be a little bit of a gadfly. Clinging and hoarding stems from a conscious or subconscious fear of shortage and indicates a heightened awareness of poverty. Wow, that is on the nose right there. My mother being thrown into poverty against her will, and the fact that she was so means that she held on to things, I think. She also grew up very poor. Even the greatest treasures lose their value if they are not used in the service of love. This is symbolized by the different colored coins in the background. I think that's definitely for sure that my mother holds on to the things that she has in her life like they are actual symbols of love. What else do we have here? Oh, that's interesting. Active Mercury and connect. Okay, so not a huge astrology fan, but this is kind of freaky that right down here you have the symbol for Virgo, which is the inactive symbol in this picture. Oh, it's the Earth sign. Okay, so active Mercury in connection with the Earth sign Virgo. It is in an excellent position to employ his brilliant communication skills. My mother can employ... So here's what's strange about that. My mother, being a professional communicator, that's what she does for a job. She's a former journalist, and now she's she writes emails all day. In addition to that, she's a Virgo. That's pretty much on the nose. Alright, let's draw this next card. I think I'm sufficiently creeped out by this. Ahem. The Twin Swords. 2 of Swords, meaning peace. Inner peace. Power of decision, peaceful relationships, harmonious radiance, trust. The propellers radiating from the nose, the rose, rather, not the nose, symbolize the element air. They show that movement and freshness also belong to real peace and rest. Take your time and relax. So, being that this is actually positioned as the obstacle, I think that that's one of the things that I need to sacrifice in putting this piece together. I need to sacrifice the inner peace and rest that perhaps I have with my mother right now and ask her some very hard questions and maybe try and get her to react a little bit, because those are the most interesting movies, I think. Which shouldn't be hard. She's not a hard person to get to react. What do I stand to gain from this? Well, happiness. I mean, I think that's pretty clear. The, what is it, the 9 of Cups? Let's just make sure we have happiness, joyful sharing, and love, and happiness, bliss, overflowing love. And I think ultimately that is what this piece is about. It's, you know, even if I do risk some of my own inner peace or my own peace with my mother, I would say that it's definitely out of love for her, because I do love my mother immensely and unconditionally, as difficult a person she can sometimes be. Well, there you have it, folks. Thanks to our friend Mozart, our friend Vladimir Horowitz, and our friends, the cards. We now have some kind of a form for this this piece that I'm hoping to put together, beginning with my mother's wealth, and then sacrificing some inner peace, talking about that, and then in the end, expressing love, because ultimately, that's what it's all about. Love. 525,600 minutes. How do you measure a year? It's up to you.